What if one law, one unbreakable principle, could define the ethical framework of an entire life? Kant argued precisely this. A moral code so absolute that it would transcend personal desires, ambitions, and fears, a law that remains unyielding even in a world of uncertainty. Born in the humble city of Königsberg in 1724, Immanuel Kant lived a life marked precision, unwavering habits, and a relentless pursuit of knowledge. Unlike many philosophers, Kant never traveled far from his hometown, yet his ideas traveled to the far reaches of philosophical inquiry. He believed that the pursuit of true ethics was more than personal happiness, fame, or success. It was about adherence to a universal law within each of us. What is this law? He called it the categorical imperative, a rule that asks us to act only in ways that could become a universal principle, something we would be willing for everyone else to follow without exception. Imagine this: standing in a dilemma where personal gain tempts you to betray a friend or cut corners. For Kant, the answer is clear. If you wish this act to become a universal law everyone follows, you must ask yourself, would the world be just if everyone acted in self-interest? Would society hold together if we all abandoned honesty for personal gain? For Kant, if the answer is no, then breaking that rule is an affront to humanity. As he wrote in his Groundwork for the Metaphysics of Morals, act only according to that maxim by which you can, at the same time, will that it should become a universal law. This simple yet profound directive is central to Kant's moral philosophy. Kant believed that every person possesses the same moral law, a shared ethical compass that demands respect and adherence. And it wasn't enough to act good because we wanted something in return. True morality, he believed, required action from a place of duty, not from the pursuit of a reward or fear of punishment. This concept is integral to his work, Critique of Practical Reason, where he argues that we can be free only by acting from duty rather than inclination. Consider how Kant's vision challenges even our modern-day pursuit of doing good for recognition or reward, suggesting that real virtue lies in acting for the sake of principle alone. Kant's idea went further. He believed that breaking moral law damages society and the fabric of our identity. By lying, stealing, or betraying, we diminish humanity because to live outside this universal law is to live inauthentically. In his essay on a supposed right to leave because of philanthropic concerns, he explored this problematic truth, contending that lying, even in the so-called service of kindness, undermines the foundation of trust and dignity. Yet he knew this choice was rarely easy. In an imperfect world, following a moral compass can come with immense sacrifice, isolating us from comfort, success, or even love. Kant believed that the courage to stand firm stems from an inner respect for the law, acknowledging that living according to principle elevates us to our full potential. This is the essence of the autonomy Kant cherished deeply, the freedom to govern oneself in alignment with moral law, even when it defies immediate benefit. He argued that this law is not arbitrary or imposed from the outside, it is woven into the very structure of human reason. For Kant, humans have a natural ability to recognize moral duty, a concept he referred to as a priori knowledge innate, universal truths that don't rely on experience. This means moral law isn't something we learn from our culture or family, it is something we already know deep within us. In the Metaphysics of Morals, Kant describes this innate moral sense as the voice of conscience, which silently urges us toward duty. Kant believed that denying this knowledge is denying a part of what makes us human and connects us across societies and centuries. His vision is audacious, an unshakable moral foundation that, if followed, could unify us under one ethical standard, regardless of differences in religion, upbringing, or even personal circumstance. As we navigate our modern world, Kant's categorical imperative presents us with a more relevant challenge than ever. In a society where individualism is often prized above community, Kant asks us to think of the collective impact of our actions. In moments of ethical dilemma, his question resonates. Could I wish for my actions to become a universal rule for all? This isn't a question of strict obedience, but a profound call to moral maturity, to take responsibility for our effect on others, even when no one is watching. His idea of the kingdom of ends, a concept from Groundwork of the Metaphysics of Morals, envisions a world where each person treats others as ends in themselves, not to an end essentially, a society where respect for human dignity is paramount. Think of it as the one moral law often broken for gain, convenience, or fleeting happiness. It is a betrayal of something more profound than conscience. It is a betrayal of our shared humanity. Kant's challenge to us is daunting yet strangely freeing, the commitment to a moral law you respect above all else, even in profound conflict. And if we dig even deeper into Kant's thoughts, we find an almost revolutionary idea. This moral law not only binds individuals but also links us all in an invisible moral community. For Kant, adhering to the categorical imperative means fulfilling our duty as isolated individuals. We engage in a shared, universal act of ethics, creating an interconnected moral fabric that can uplift all humanity. In honoring this law, we step into an immense responsibility that ties us to the broader human project, where each action contributes to the world we ultimately inhabit. He said, "Two things fill the mind with ever-increasing wonder and awe, the starry heavens above me and the moral law within me." It is this moral law within that Kant saw as our proper guide. But what does this mean for us, and how do we apply it in a modern world so distant from Kant's 18th century Königsberg? As we grapple with decisions that challenge our ethics, from business choices to personal relationships, we might consider Kant's words a litmus test. Would I wish my actions to become a universal law? Think about those choices. Where have you faced the crossroads of convenience versus conscience? The answers aren't simple, and Kant admitted that a life of moral integrity is rarely easy. However, Kant believed that we celebrate something more significant and timeless by honoring the one moral law that transcends our individual lives. In the end, I leave you with this question, one that may linger with you long after this video ends. What price would you pay to remain faithful to your moral law? And if faced with a moment where breaking it could bring happiness or gain, would you find the strength to resist?